Hello, I'm Ricardo Levins Morales, a child of Taino land in Maricao, Borinquen. I grew up clambering up the mountainsides, picking my way through dense forest tangle, and going to school in the classrooms built on the side of Don Paco's store. The forest is an honest teacher. It only tells the truth. And the story it told me was of the tangled unity of death and life and birth and decay and rebirth, about unending cycles of depletion and replenishment, about changes that occur in a lightning flash and others that take months or years or centuries. And most of all, about the frightening, unstoppable, brilliant determination of life to exist. I grew up in land under colonial occupation. For those not familiar, colonialism is a large-scale version of armed robbery, meant to keep poor people poor and the rich rich. It depletes without replenishing. It's what has blown so many of us, like spores on the wind, to places far from our homes. In my case, onto the occupied homelands of the Dakota people and their more recent neighbors, another displaced people, the Anishinaabe. The words spore and diaspora share the same Greek root. I don't have to tell you that we're at a turning point in our intertwined histories. We all feel it. The Gulf Stream, the jet stream, the migrant stream, all changing and shifting at once. Even the long historical arc of the colonial era itself is reaching its stage of exhaustion, but cannot release its deadly grip. Not on its own. The rest of us, the forests and wetlands, oceans and human bodies can no longer pay its mounting bills. We, like every generation, are a link between the ancient past and the ancient future. How we step into that role matters a great deal to those who await, in the future, around the bend, where we're headed. I have friends who live there. I'll tell you about them in a minute, but first, let's pack for the journey. Don't bother packing a map. Maps aren't much help when the landscape itself is constantly shifting. What matters is that we learn to read the land, feel the wind, listen to the vibrations in the ground and the rhythms in each other's hearts. None of us knows how to get there, so we need to become the kind of people capable of figuring it out. First of all, we need to pack some knowledge. We humans have been gathering experience for 500,000 years. Let's use it. We have to know our history and each other's. And if we're entering a time of mass extinction, let's learn about how past ones have gone. How is it when so many species are disappearing that some are able to expand and thrive? What allows a salmon run or a coral reef to recover? What practices pose a real threat to those driving the destruction? Union leader Joe Hill once said, "Don't mourn, organize." We need to organize. But we also need to mourn. So let's pack up our grief. Grief is how we know loss, and we've had enough of that. Accumulated loss can weigh us down. Grieving lightens the load. Lightens it as we go. It also clears the mind. We get to grieve for our loved ones, for the polar bears losing their ice, for the homes we've left behind, for our people's pain. But to mourn for the whole entire world, that feels irresponsible. When your child is sick, you don't mourn their loss. You fight like hell for their life. Same with Mother Earth. Finally, we have to pack a load of hope. Hope's a commitment. It's an action, not a feeling. It's the life force that drives every chipmunk, sea turtle, or butterfly to venture out each day in search of a meal or a nesting place or a mate. It's what allows us to see opportunities. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but the universe is a lot more invested in what you do than in how you feel. Because however you feel, the choice is the same. It's about either giving up or stepping up. Kind of a no-brainer, isn't it? You all packed now? Okay, let's get back to the future. So about my friends. I see them standing beside a river in a circle, around a fire. They are sometime far enough in the future that I'll never actually meet them in person. But they've summoned me here, me and other ancestors, maybe you, for a ceremony of gratitude, thanking us for all we did during the confusing, frightening, uncertain, and painful time of the turning. How we rose up to the occasion, how we never gave up, so that one day they would be able to stand here, around a fire on a beautiful evening, birds chirping and water rippling, and thank us. It's what ancestors live for. Literally. I never knew this before. We don't just need our ancestors, they need us, as we need those downstream from here, as an anchor point in the future, someone to dream about, to fight for, to walk toward. Let's go.